welcome back. So today's video is going to be a makeup kind of video. It's not a makeup tutorial because, as you can tell, I've already got some makeup on my face, but I'm going to be doing a first impressions / demo / review of the Sleek Cream Contour Kit. Now, I've got this in the shade Light. I've showed it in a haul video before, but I've not actually used it yet, so I thought today I would film a video where I put it on my face for the first time. I tell you my first impressions, show you how to use it, show you the finished result, my kind of opinion on it, and I just thought that would be an interesting video, and I know a few of you said that you would like to see that, so that is what I'm going to be filming today. You can pick it up in the shade Light, Medium or Dark. Obviously I've got the shade Light because I'm very fair skinned, and I'm super excited to see whether this actually does suit my skin tone or not, because I find it really difficult to get contour products that do. But I'm really excited to try this, so I'm just going to open it up and start talking you through it. So we get 6 shades inside the palette. The top 3 are kind of lighter shades, and then the bottom 3 you've got your darker contour shades. And it comes with this little instruction leaflet type thing, and tells you kind of where to put the different shades. So that is what I'm going to be following today. And I think I'm just going to get straight in, tell you which shade I'm using, where I'm putting it on my face, and then once I have applied all of the 6 colours to my skin, I'm then going to blend it all in and then see how it looks once I've blended it all. So I'm just going to get straight started. I'm not really too sure what kind of brushes I should be using for this, so it's kind of going to be a bit of a trial and error, and just see how it works. So the first brush I'm going to use is from Zoeva, and it's the Face Shape brush, which is this brush here. It's quite little, and I'm going to be using this for the darker shades, so for the contour shades, and then this little brush here, which is the Zoeva Concealer Buffer brush, which is even tinier. I'm going to be using that for the lighter shades, so the shades under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, that sort of thing. Also got my beauty blender to blend it in case it needs a little bit of blending, and I've got powder and setting spray and all sorts, just in case I need it, because I'm not really sure what the consistency is going to be like on my skin. So I'm just going to start following these little instructions. So step 1 is to apply shade 1 underneath the eyes to brighten. So that is this yellowy shade up here. It kind of looks like a banana colour, so I'm going to take a little bit of that on the concealer buffer brush. Okay, it is quite thick in consistency, and I'm going to pop that underneath my eyes. Doesn't really come out too pigmented, so I'm going to try and pack a little bit more of that on. I'm also just going to have a tissue here to wipe the brush because I don't want to kind of be mixing all of the colours, so I'm just going to wipe it in between each shade. So that's shade 1. Now step 2 is to apply shade 6 to the hollows of the cheeks, from the top of the ear to the corner of the mouth. So shade 6 is the darkest shade, which is the one in the bottom right corner. It looks like this. It's actually a really nice kind of cool toned contour shade. I'm going to be using the Face Shape brush, and I feel like this one is picking up a lot better on the brush than the yellow one did. Don't know why that is. So I'm just going to apply that down here. Oh, that is very pigmented, isn't it? Yeah. I don't want to go too overboard with this because I don't want to look stupid. Okay, step 3, apply shade 5 from the top of the forehead down to the top of the temples. Okay, so shade 5 is this one here, the one in the middle. It's slightly more it's slightly lighter than the other one. I'm just going to use the same brush. I have wiped it off. I'm just going to take a little bit of that. So with this shade, I'm going to be applying it on my temples. So I'm going to be sort of applying it up here, and I guess it's just to kind of warm up the skin a little bit. It doesn't pick up too well on camera, I don't think, but I don't want to go too overboard because I don't want to look orange. Okay, next, apply shade 4 down each side of the nose. Okay, shade 4 is this one here. I feel like this looks quite peachy toned, but I'm not really sure. Again, I'm just going to use the same brush because it's one of the darker shades. This one again is quite hard to pick up on the brush. I feel like it's quite a hard product to sort of get working. So I'm going to pop that down either side of my nose. I probably should have used a thinner brush. but all I've got is this little one here, and I want to save that for the lighter products. I hope these haven't dried by the time I get around to blending them, because I might look a little bit stupid. Okay, step number 5, apply shade 3 along the top of the cheekbones. So shade 3 is this one up here. Now I do feel like this is still quite dark to have as a highlighter, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to use the little concealer brush. It looks like quite a peachy shade. So I'm going to apply that on top of my cheekbones. Like I said, I feel like that's quite dark to use as a highlighter maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm just too pale. Last step, step number 6, is to apply the shade number 2 on the centre of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose and on the cupid's bow and across the chin. So shade number 2 is this one in the middle. It's quite a pale peachy pink colour. I'm using the same little concealer brush, and I'm going to pop that on my forehead, down the bridge of the nose, cupid's bow, and on my chin. Okay, so I now need to blend in what I've put on my face, and I'm going to go in firstly with the Real Techniques Bold Metals 300 brush, which is what I actually usually use to apply my contour. I'm going to start using this to blend in the dark contour shades, so I'm just going to blend it in on my forehead. That actually blended a lot easier than what I thought. I feel like this would definitely be good if you were going on a night out and you wanted quite severe contouring. But for an everyday look, I think it's a little bit too much for my skin tone. Possibly, I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to go in with my beauty blender. I'm going to spray a little bit of MAC Fix Plus onto it just to make it a little bit damp. And then I'm going to go in and kind of blend in all of these lighter areas. Okay, so I've blended it all out. I'm now just going to set my makeup with my Mercier translucent setting powder. I'm just going to pop a little bit into the lid, and then I'm basically just going to set my chin, underneath my eyes, and anywhere that makeup tends to slide off your face throughout the day, just because this is a cream product and it is definitely a little bit on the shinier side, and I don't really want a shiny face, that's why I'm setting it with powder. I think if you have quite oily skin, you definitely need to set this with powder, just because it is quite sort of oily feeling on the skin, and I don't really like that feeling, so that's why I'm mattifying it down a little bit. Okay, now I've roughly set that, I am just going to add a little bit of highlighter using my Merry Lou-Manizer by the Balm, because I can't be without highlighter, and I stupidly didn't bring a highlighter brush in this room with me, so I'm going to use the same brush I use for the powder, which is the Luxe Cheek Finish brush by Zoeva, and I'm just going to pop a little bit of highlighter on my cheekbones just to make it all look a little bit nicer, because although I do see the point in kind of matte highlighters like the ones in this palette, I like a little bit of a glow, so I add some shimmery stuff. Okay, so that is the finished look. I have blended in all of the contour and all of the highlight. I've mattified it down with a bit of powder, and I've added a shimmery highlighter on top just to finish off the look. But all in all, I think this is really, really great. I did really enjoy using it. I will use it again for sure. Probably more likely to use it if I'm going on a night out. I do think it's quite heavy for daytime wear, and I wouldn't really sit and do my whole contour routine, like every bit of my face, if I was just wearing it during the day, so it's probably going to be more of an evening look thing. I'm interested to see how long it kind of lasts throughout the day, but I think this contour bit here looks really, really nice, and it has actually blended in really subtly. I thought I was going to look very orange and a little bit stupid, but it does actually look quite nice. I'm hoping it's not just these lights, and then I'll probably go into daylight and I'll look really, really orange, but no, I do really like it. I think that obviously the palette comes in light, medium and dark. This is obviously the perfect one for me. It is light enough, and I do think that all of the colours work really, really well. Particularly like the yellow sort of banana type cream that you use underneath your eyes to brighten them. I would definitely be using that a lot more. And I also do really like the darkest contour shade. I think that is a really nice kind of cool toned one, and it works really, really well with light skins. I'm not too sure on these two up here, which are supposed to be like the highlighters, the brightening colours. they just sort of went a little bit funny on my skin when I blended it in. I felt like they removed a little bit of the foundation that was underneath and they went a little bit funny, but I guess it's just all about finding a way that works with you or works with your skin. But I would definitely recommend checking this out if you're looking for a new contour and highlight palette. It's inexpensive, it's from the drugstore, and I really enjoyed using it. I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful in some way. Do remember to give it a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you're new. If you are new and you just clicked on this video because you were searching for kind of sleek contour palette reviews, then hello, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you will click on the subscribe button down below and have a little watch of some of my other videos, and I hope you enjoy those as well. But that's it for me today. I will see you all very soon in another video. Goodbye!